Digital greetings, for all. The CAIWEI brand launched its most powerful projector to date, the A10Q model, which has nothing more and nothing less than 1480 ANSI lumens of brightness and which, according to the brand, can be used even during the day. The truth is there is not much to say, but rather a lot to try, so stay with the entire video if you want to see what this tremendous projector looks like, since I tested it in HD, in Full HD, widescreen, grayscreen, night and also day. Let's unbox it. This is how customs in my country sent me this new projector. Because this product fell through customs and I had to pay taxes. That is something that doesn't always happen to me, but this time it happened. But we already have it here, the CAIWEI A10, a large Full HD projector with very interesting specifications, especially for its brightness. Inside there is a small accessory box, which includes a power cable to power the projector, a 1.5 meter HDMI cable, a practical and beautiful infrared remote control and a complete octagon-shaped guide that looks very cool. I also received a 100-inch gray reflective projection cloth as a gift, not bad at all. Finally we have the projector, which is somewhat large and heavy, but like most, it comes well protected. This is the CAIWEI Model A10, a large projector, with angled sides that makes it look a little futuristic, and in this gray color with black details it looks very good. On the front it has an infrared receiver and an autofocus camera. The lens has a protection window that we can open with this sliding button, and this other button lowers a support foot to raise the projection. On this side, in addition to the power input, there is ventilation and air intake, with a cartridge-type dust filter to avoid contaminating the interior and which can also be easily replaced. On the other side is the hot air outlet, and on the back all its connections and the speaker sound output. It integrates an infrared port, a 100 megabit Ethernet connection, a headphone output, an analog audio and video input, 2 HDMI inputs and 2 USB inputs. Above are the control buttons and all of them are touch sensitive, while at the bottom it has 4 rubber feet, since it does not have a tripod thread. It is a little big and weighs almost 3 kilos. I don't know what you will say, but I find its design nice. It looks a bit like an alien ship, and it won't look bad installed in your living room. From my research on projectors, I already knew the CAIWEI brand, and I know that it is a good brand of projectors, that has launched many good models on the market, as you see here, and this model that I have is the latest and the one that has more shine of the brand, so you could say it is its flagship. It is not a cheap projector, since on ALIEXPRESS it is valued at about $470, but it is the price of having almost 1500 ANSI lumens and being able to use it in daylight. In addition, it integrates the latest connection technologies such as Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5, to connect whatever you want. Its specifications are powerful and it is one of the best projectors of this brand, if not the best, for all its features and improved hardware. Being such a complete projector, it deserves its respective autopsy to get to know it a little more inside. Although I have already disassembled several similar models, it doesn't hurt to learn a little more about this technology. After removing the screws and applying some pressure, the cover comes off easily and you just have to remove this flag to release it. This cover only has the circuit board in charge of controlling the touch buttons. The projector is controlled by a single card, and here you can see the autofocus gear, which is driven by this small motor. A good thing is that despite being a horizontal format, this projector has completely sealed optics, and in this format they are generally not like that, which gives it an advantage against dust and external contamination. The card looks well built, and if I remove this heatsink I can reach the processor, in charge of the most important video functions, which travel through this orange flag to the LCD screen hidden under the sealed optics. The only thing that can be seen is the very large heatsink with 4 heat pipes necessary to cool the power LED. Unfortunately, I cannot open the sealed optics because I do not want to contaminate the interior, but due to its format I can easily intuit how it works inside. It is undoubtedly a good projector. I like that the optics are sealed and also, the card and hardware look of good quality. Now do you understand why the size and weight of this projector? The more ANSI lumens, the more powerful the projector needs to be, and that is something we have to try anyway with this CAIWEI A10Q projector. It's time to configure this machine and see what it's capable of. and just by turning it on, the home screen already gives me a good expectation of its brightness. I know this interface very well, since almost all non-certified projectors have it. It is a free interface, but it works well. It integrates typical settings for a projector, such as choosing the video source, condition information, port control and general settings. From here you can connect it to a Wi-Fi network, connect any Bluetooth device, select a predefined image profile, select a predefined sound profile, other basic settings. It even includes a user manual that teaches how to use the interface and some additional technical information about this projector model. But it is in the laser option, where the projection settings and the most important ones are found, such as the type of projection, 4-point correction, digital zoom and 6D correction, so called because it allows you to correct both horizontally, vertically and even angularly to adapt to any surface. It is a very complete projector in configuration options and the interface works relatively well, although you can always improve it with a good TV box, and you can also do manual focus directly from the remote control to fine-tune the projection a little more. With a good parameter setting, you can get images like these with the CAIWEI A10Q. And projected at about 100 inches, they are quite bright, colorful and very good. If I turn on 50% of my light, look, you can still see very well. And if I turn on 100% of my room, it's not perfect, but I'm very surprised that it's still visible. Remember that other less bright projectors do not pass the test in my room with 100% light, and are very obscured by the light, but this one is still visible, and here we must take into account two disadvantages. The first is that these are images from the YouTube that is integrated, and since it is not certified I can only project them in HD, that is, up to 720p. And the second disadvantage is that we are on my white screen, and although it is good for projection, it is not perfect because it reflects the light in all directions, wasting it. I mean, it is not selective. So later we will see it in ideal conditions, with a 1080p TV box with the reflective gray screen it arrived with. Projecting a white screen, I will measure the light output of the A10Q, but you have to bring it closer to 1 meter as with all my projectors. And after measuring the brightness intensity, I got almost 1470 lux, quite close to the promised value. Regarding noise, here you can see that it generates about 43 decibels from its fan. It is not very quiet, but that will be compensated for by increasing the volume. While the sound power, as you can see, it is around 80 decibels at maximum volume, enough for any medium-sized room. It also integrates screen mirroring to transmit all the content from our cell phone or from our computer. But I didn't like the transmission speed because, as you see here, the delay is significant. So it is not recommended to play this way. In the CAIWEI A10Q we can greatly expand its projection, but I will only take it up to the 150 inches that my screen measures. And I want to remind you that these images are still HD at 720 pixels, meaning you are not seeing the full quality that this projector delivers. Furthermore, because I also want to show you that the HD format in projection is not always bad, seen from about 6 meters, it is quite acceptable. And that is because this HD content is upscaled to Full HD. Of course it is not the same as Full HD native, but most will see it very well. To demonstrate this, I will install Mecool's latest powerful TV box, the KM2 Plus Deluxe, to get the most out of this projector. And here I already have certified Android TV 11 running, which is much smoother and much more powerful. Note that now I can put the best 4K resolution on YouTube, and this projector, although it is not native 4K, has a good 4K upscaling codec. If you want, go back to the previous images and compare them with these images, because at least for me, the images with a certified TV box are of much higher quality. Even when choosing an image mode, now it already appears with the acronym HDR, which was not allowed with the YouTube that comes with the projector. The powerful brightness is what gives value to this projector, since as you see here, the native Full HD images look spectacular, and that is why this CAIWEI projector costs what it costs, because even with light you can see relatively well in a white screen. But if it were a gray screen, I think it would look much better, as I will see below. With this projector, a 100-inch gray reflective fabric comes as a gift, especially for a projector, and I am going to test it by placing it as a canvas on my white screen. And thanks to the magic of editing, it is already installed with adhesive tape. Now I will put the lights at 50% and turn on the projector and then adjust the projection, so that it is only on the gray screen. The result is images with greater contrast, not so much brightness, but rather it improves the color depth, as you see in this comparison. Even if I turn on the light at 100%, the result is very good, and it can be seen well enough with my entire room on and with the gray fabric, and here there is also a comparison with the white screen and at 100% light. And if I turn off all the light and adjust to a type of image with HDR, the result is the best possible quality that this CAIWEI A10Q can deliver, and it is practically like watching the screen of a normal smart TV, because the brightness is almost reflected everything to the viewer. It also has its disadvantages, such as that the best visualization will be when you are in front of the projection, since from a very acute angle it will reduce the brightness a little, but nothing is perfect, friend. The important thing is that this gray fabric greatly improves the quality of the images, at least for me it does. Finally, the toughest challenge for any projector is facing my day room, because I have these large doors through which all the brightness of the sun enters and overshadows most projectors. In the case of this CAIWEI, although it does not look perfect, I have to admit that at least it can be seen, because other projectors that I have tried during the day look like this. Furthermore, by adjusting some parameters to the image you can improve the projection and see something better, even during the day, at 2 in the afternoon and with the strong sun outside. Therefore, during the day it is necessary to use the reflective gray fabric, to make better use of the light from the projector and redirect it to the viewer. Furthermore, by adjusting the images we could have a much better result. Yes, it is true that you can use this projector during the day, but with certain conditions, such as using a gray fabric, and that is why the brand gives you one when you buy it, and I think that using it actually makes a difference. Look, I'm going to move the projector a little to the left to compare the images that fall inside and outside the gray fabric, so you can draw your own conclusions. And as you see, the result is overwhelming, right? But be careful that these are the worst conditions. I highly doubt that your room will have that much daylight, so I will cover the light a little so that it looks more like a normal room, and now the result will be much better. This is more or less how you can see in a day room, but with a gray fabric. And I think that this projector fulfills what it promised, and because, in addition, I have been using it for a couple of weeks and I am very happy with its performance, but since I am not going to keep it, I will soon put it on the Rifa for only $3. I cannot detract from this excellent projector, because it has almost everything. It only lacked certified Android TV, but otherwise it perfectly meets the expectations of anyone demanding quality. As for the price, well, all I can say is get used to the cost of wanting a lot more power. The CAIWEI A10Q is another excellent projector option, but it is not the definitive one either. There are other models with more pro features, but at least you are getting an idea that these are not cheap at all. Thank you for coming this far. Subscribe to my channel and leave me my well-deserved like to continue creating content like this, and beware, I already received the Wanbo X5 that I have been asked for so much. Help me, and let's democratize technology. Until the next video.